Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stump the Astrologer Day, or the Astrologer Has Been Stumped Day. It's probably more like it. What am I going on about? Well, we have something that is really kind of sneaking in the back door, almost unnoticed by us, which is a lunar eclipse tomorrow on the 18th of August. At about 10:26 a.m. UK time. You can go online, look in your particular time zone to see when that will be. Why is it kind of sneaking in the back door? Well, actually, a lot of people are calling this the almost eclipse. It's what's known as a penumbral eclipse. And all that we're really going to see is one corner of the moon having a small bit of the Earth's shadow cast upon it, just a small corner of the moon. Where can you see this at? You can see it in Australia and most of the United States, except the very easternmost portion of the United States and eastern South America as well. So to see what time this is in your particular time zone, you can just look for that information online. Give, a little bit of time, half hour, 45 minutes, either side of it if you really want to catch it. So let's talk about this. But first, before we do, let's remind ourselves that we've got this lunar eclipse tomorrow. We have a solar eclipse on the 1st of September, and we have another lunar eclipse on the 16th of September. So we have two lunar eclipses this time around. Let's talk about the moon for a second. What is the moon? Well, in terms of symbolism, and spirituality, the moon relates to manas, or our sensory mind. Our sensory mind is what we use to navigate our experience of consciousness. When the moon is reflecting clearly, we see things clearly. We don't get as bogged down in the lunacy, right? That's why they call it that, maybe. Who knows? Lunacy. Well, people do act kind of that way on a full moon. So when it's clear, we don't get bogged down in the lunacy. But when it's not reflecting clearly, then we get caught up in all sorts of illusion. So sometimes with a lunar eclipse, there is a higher propensity for that happening. So let's talk about this particular lunar eclipse and see if we can get a concept of what this is all about. Let's talk about the idea of experience and how experience can really be the best teacher. And then let's take a look at another level, at those experiences that we have in our life that feel really chaotic, that feel really uncertain. And while they're going on, we're just going, what is the meaning of all of this? What is this all about? Why are things working out this way, right? That's a good way to start an understanding of Shatabhisha Nakshatra, which is where this particular lunar eclipse is going to take place. Shatabhisha Nakshatra is associated with Varuna. Varuna is the giver of cosmic law. On one level, he is also very similar to Neptune on a certain level. Let's touch a little bit more on what Varuna is all about. It's said in the Vedas that he obscures in the night what is to be revealed in the daytime, right? So it creates this cloudiness, this haziness, sometimes even chaos in our lives, and quite often puts us through an experience so that we learn. And so that the information that we get from something is not just an idea, and it's not just knowledge, it's actual wisdom, right? So there is a little bit of, kind of cloudy and hazy energy being associated with this particular eclipse. There's some uncertainty that you may be feeling. You may even be feeling it already. Not really sure which way to turn, which direction you need to move in. Building up inside of you, there is this one aspect of yourself that's ready to be free of a particular set of circumstances and really ready for things to move on. Because of that, you're feeling tempted to really do something about the situation, to really take action. On another level, you're seeing maybe too many angles of a particular situation, right? Mixed in with that, you've got this one idea, or maybe one ideal of a particular direction that you would like to head in. But sometimes you might become a little too attached to that idea or that ideal. And then you mix that up with all the uncertainty that you're feeling inside of yourself and all the questioning that you're doing to yourself, going, you know, is what I'm really looking at, is it some unrealistic expectation that's going on inside of me? You know, we've got Venus in close proximity to Rahu right now. Venus represents your conscious desires, whereas Rahu is your unconscious desires. You put those two things together, and sometimes things can get a little bit blown out of proportion. Sometimes you act on something and you're not really sure why you're acting on it, right? And then you also look at the fact that not too distant from Rahu, you've also got the sun, right? So then you've got this Rahu sun energy that is kind of going, okay, sure, which direction is right for me, right? Okay, and as we're looking at this energy, as we're really trying to understand it, we're feeling a compulsion. That's the word I want to use, a compulsion to take action. On one level, with this particular eclipse, it may not be possible for you to take action. And as difficult as that might be to hear, actually on a certain level, it serves you. Why is that? Well, let's look at the concept. Isn't a job that is worth doing well? Rather than just making any particular choice in order to free yourself from a situation, right? Do you really want to take a choice that may land you back in a similar situation? Or do you want to really be done with this? And if you do really want to be done with it, don't you want to wait so that you're making absolutely the right decision? Now, we've got this approaching conjunction between Mars and Saturn that's exact on the 24th. Both of those planets are forming an aspect to this lunar eclipse. On one level, it's giving you perspective. It's also giving you the potential to really relate to a set of circumstances in the correct way. Mars is in Anuradha Nakshatra. Anuradha Nakshatra helps us to have the right perspective on something and to judge something correctly, to really see things in the right manner. And that is actually governed over by Saturn. And Saturn's in Jyeshta Nakshatra, which is ruled by Mercury. And that's helping you to kind of take a step back from the situation, even though you're deeply embroiled in it at the moment, so that you can see things clearly. All that's transferring over to the moon in Shatabhisha Nakshatra that's experiencing, well, you know, perhaps some topsy-turvy energy and perhaps a mix of idealism blended in with that, right? But action at the moment is not possible, even though there's a brewing uncertainty, even though there's confusion and a desire to act. It's better that you don't. It's better that you get a clear picture. We're entering into a very transformative time over the course of the next 6 months. Sorry, got a little tongue twisted there. Over the course of the next 6 months, the energy that you're going through right now is going to have a long bearing effect. That's generally the way eclipses work. So pay attention at the moment, really be patient, and really take your time in order to get things right this time, right? Rather than letting yourself get pulled in this direction, that direction, and the other direction, well, maybe let yourself get pulled in all those directions, but don't go fully into any of them until you have an understanding or an idea as to which of those directions is actually the right one. That's going to do it for a look at the lunar eclipse of the 18th of August, 2016. Until next time, please take the very best care of yourself. And don't forget my astrological services page if you want to schedule a consultation with me. Bye now.